impact of the Superstorm Sandy was to the people of Somerset County. You said something to me during that conversation about don't forget the people of Somerset County, and I can assure you that we're not going to forget the people of Somerset County, and we're going to continue to fight to make things right. And that's what this is about, doing what's right. America usually does what's right. Sometimes it takes us a little longer to get there than we should. In this circumstance, the rules that we were using, particularly as it related to individual relief, were not what they should have been. Senator Mikulski and I were together when the administrator of FEMA announced that Maryland would not qualify and Somerset County would not qualify for individual relief. We had a chance to talk to Mr. Fugit at that time. And I think he agreed with us that that didn't make a lot of sense when you look at the damage that was done in Somerset County. And that a community should be judged by the damage in that community, not by the state in which that community happens to reside. So we set out to do things a little bit differently. And a little bit later, as you know, the president did what was right in providing the individual declarations for the people here in Somerset County. I am proud of our Maryland team, and I just got to let you know that. I appreciate you mentioning Governor O'Malley. He has been an incredible leader. I was with him that same day that I talked to you at the Storm Center as he marshaled our forces first to mitigate damage, then to make sure people were out of harm's way, and then third to do the type of restorations that were needed. Senator Mikulski's been an incredible leader during this period of time, and it won't hurt the people of Somerset County to have the chairman of the Appropriations Committee from Maryland. Let me just tell you that. I know that Senator Mikulski will be here on Monday. The two of us work very, very closely together on these issues. And you're absolutely right about your Senator Mathias. I got at least a half a dozen phone calls, and I said, how are you doing? He told me he was in the hospital. I said, you're making calls from the hospital? He said, we got to take care of the people of Somerset County. So your state senator has been a real champion on this issue. So let me just relate to what I saw and how we're going to continue to make sure that people get what is right as a federal partnership. And the federal government's a partner along with so many others. You've got to mention all the different agencies that are represented here. All the state agencies are here, all the federal agencies, they're here, one-stop shop, to help people, whether it's a small business owner who needs help getting his business back, or whether it's a homeowner saying, well, can I really lift my house up a little bit so that I can mitigate future losses? We saw one of those houses during the tour. We want them to lift their house up a little bit. There'll be more storms in the future. I'm sorry to tell you that. This is not something we're going to see only once in our lifetime, unfortunately. There are going to be other storms. And maybe it won't hit the exact same location. But we want people when they rebuild their homes, to build them in a way that's realistic to the environment in which we now live in. Mitigate your damages for the future. The mayor and I had a chance to take a look at the barrier islands and the berms that built. We increased the size of Assateague Island, not knowing whether there were going to be more storms or not, but recognizing it's likely there would be. We did that to give a better buffer to Ocean City. And it worked. It's worked. It's mitigated losses. So a lot of what we want to do is mitigate future losses. But yes, we want to provide relief to the people who have been damaged so they can get back to their lives. Too many people are still living in hotels with neighbors. We got to get them back home. This is America. We got to get them back home. So we thank the different agencies. I can't help but just single out all the volunteers that have helped, all the nonprofits. We needed them. But you also need a federal government that's responsive. So today, as I am here, the SNAP applications that are being taken, that's to make sure people don't use their food money to take care of their emergency. We want them to be able to have the nutrition that they need. And because of the individual declaration that was made in regards to Somerset County, the citizens of Somerset County who qualify by income are eligible for this temporary help on food nutrition. Those applications, as you know, will be taken through Sunday. We want to make sure that all eligible, and we believe there's as many as 1,400 who could be eligible, that they take advantage of it. Several hundred have already signed up, which is a good sign. We're moving forward on that. You know about the individual help you can get for property damage, whether it's to the building or to the contents. We're making sure people get that help. We already have passed in Congress the extra funds for flood insurance. Why is that important? Because so many people that live here don't have flood insurance. We want them to get flood insurance. If you use commercial rates for flood insurance, it's not affordable for most people. That's why we have a federal flood insurance program. We also have a flood insurance program to provide for flood management. In Somerset County, thank you. We have all the county commissioners here. I want to thank the county commissioners for their leadership in providing for flood management. You've understood the risk here. Part of participating in the flood insurance program is to mitigate that loss, and you're moving forward on that, which is critically important. And then we have one more bill we got to get passed, and that's the supplemental, emergency supplemental. And I mention that because it will help Somerset County in the right way. We have CDBG funds that are in there, $15, $16 billion. Mr. Mayor, I already heard you mention about one of the CDBG programs. You know, that gives you the flexible funds so that if a traffic light's knocked out, you can be able to hopefully get it restored. That's where those funds come in. Well, we don't have enough money there. We've got to replenish that money. That's why the emergency supplemental is important. The emergency supplemental also has the mitigation funds in there, the Army Corps funds in there, the coastal restoration funds in there, the fishery funds in there. And yes, we want homeowners to raise their homes. We want to build what's necessary, the burns and the restoration of islands. Funds are in the emergency supplemental so that you can do that and protect the public safety of the people in your community. That's why it's important that we get these funds approved. Now, those funds have not been approved. They're approved by the Senate, have not yet been approved by the House. I want to tell you, we should have done this well before now, but let's get it done. And I know the House will be in session next week. We hope they do the right thing, and we can get this passed and sent to the President for signature. The President recommended a $60 billion program. We supported that in the Senate. We think that makes sense. It's a lot of different programs. And yes, most of the money will be in New Jersey and New York that had the most damage, but Maryland had its share of misery, as you know, here in Somerset County. So I just really wanted you to know, I wanted to see firsthand, and it's heartbreaking to see businesses that had been in business for 50, 60 years have closed their doors. It's heartbreaking to see a homeowner who's now living in a hotel waiting for their house to be restored and looking at how much more work yet has to be done. The least that we can do is make sure that they have the financial resources to get the house repaired. We know it's still going to take time. They're going to be terribly inconvenienced living in a hotel with neighbors or friends. But we got to get them back to where they need to be. And I tell you, being here today just energizes me more to tell you, we're going to continue to fight. Your team, Senator Mikulski and Governor O'Malley and Senator Mathias, we're going to continue to fight for what's right for the community and a strong federal partnership. And I lastly just want to congratulate the courage, the leadership, the attitude of the people here in Crisfield and Somerset County for just being so strong to let the people know that we're in this together, that you're not alone, and that we're going to do everything we can to help the people of the community. Good to be with you. Thank you.